A variety of strategies can be employed to assist Shaham in the struggle she is having within the classroom and wider school community. She has identified as having anxiety and avoidant personality disorder. Strategies implemented must attempt to increase her confidence and ability to participate and interact within the classroom. Anxiety can impact a student's ability to contribute within the classroom, which overall impacts academic performance. This is clearly evident in Shaham, as she has significant anxiety about speaking up in front of the class for fear of being bullied due to her poor linguistic skills. Her anxieties are fueling the avoidant behaviour she has been displaying in a variety of subjects. Avoidant personality disorder is characterised by a persuasive pattern of social inhibitions, feeling of inadequacy, and hypersensitivity to negative evaluation. A strategy to help Shaham may include a variety of aspects. The initial stage must involve the school counsellor. Regular meetings can provide Shaham with opportunities to speak about the issues she is having in a supportive environment. In these meetings, Shaham assists in creating coping strategies and systems that can be implemented to the classroom as well as other sections of the school. The coping strategies endeavour to reduce cognitive, physiological and behavioural symptoms of anxiety. Strategies may include providing task-focused environments which allow this task to be focused upon opposed to the ability of the student, small group activities which assist in peer interaction and the building of confidence and relationships, and differentiation of tasks. This could be as simple as altering the layout or enlarging the font of a worksheet. These conversations must include Shaham, as she'll be more willing to participate if she is aware of these accommodations. Avoidant personality disorder can be treated with cognitive behavioural therapy, and this treatment must occur with a psychologist. However, small actions can be taken within the school context to encourage Shaham to feel more comfortable to interact and participate. Providing a supportive environment can shift negative thoughts regarding one's ability, while also setting tasks which are obtainable, and providing constructive feedback can also build confidence.
And then if you wanted to kind of come back and forth and let me know anything that you have. So what we've discussed is that you were telling me earlier that you are having trouble speaking up in class because you think people are going to make fun of you. Okay, so that's actually, it's quite a relevant fear. So what do you think you could do in the classroom to kind of overcome that?
I don't really know.
You're not really sure? Okay, well, one thing we could do is we could come up with a strategy with your teacher. So it's not just up to you, it'd be up to your teacher as well. And you could put together a contract, maybe a speaking up contract, speaking out. You could write down your answers on a piece of paper. How does that sound? Do you think you could do that? Something like that would be good?
There are some potential issues or complications which may arise during this strategy. Shaham may be unwilling to discuss issues that occur within the classroom or school to the counsellor initially. Trust needs to be built between the student and the counsellor, and that may take time. All members of staff must be on board to effectively assist Shaham. Across those subjects, the teachers may need to work collaboratively and put in place strategies mentioned earlier. English is a second language for Shaham, therefore it may be difficult to include her parents in conversations regarding their daughter if the English is also poor. A translator can be used to assist communication between teaching staff and parents. The differentiation of Shaham's work may in some situations increase her anxiety. Her fear may be around being teased for doing different work compared to the other students. This is the teacher's responsibility to effectively differentiate without providing opportunities for bullying.
Changes can be reversed and chemical changes can't. So a really good example of that is melting chocolate. When you're melting chocolate, you start with your chocolate block and then you melt it down. Then you can put it back in the fridge and it becomes back solid again, and it's the exact same, nothing's changed. Opposed to a chemical change where it can't be reversed. So cooking an egg is an example of that. Once you've cooked your egg, you can't take it back to a raw egg.
So the bullying intervention that we have decided to choose is called peer mediation. So what peer mediation is, it's a non-invasive and casual discussion between a peer who is usually of a leadership role, so someone in the SRC, a prefect, a captain, a senior leader, a school ambassador, anything of that caliber, and the victim itself, usually in a casual environment, sometimes in a classroom, sometimes just out in the playground. So it's quite informal. There's no note taking, there's no nothing. It's a conversation. So it varies in length, anywhere between say 5 minutes up to an hour. I mean, it could even go more. It just depends on how willing the victim is to share their story. It may not obtain a resolution. So although there may not be strategies in place and techniques used and exposure therapy and cognitive behavior therapy, it still is a conversation of emotional baggage, and it's a two-way one at that. So it means that the peer may have been through something similar and they're able to then share their story with the victim, and there's an equal length on both sides of talking.
English, and we start talking about like readings and books and stuff like that. So how are you coping in English?
I don't understand it.
You don't understand it. Yeah, I was the same. I was really, really bad at English with essays and stuff. So do you get a lot of feedback from your teacher? Like Miss Joseph, like she's quite cool. She's a cool teacher.
Not really. Well, she asked me if I need any help, but I never really asked her for it.
Okay.
Because I get scared if the other kids hear me.
Yeah, no, I get that. I was the same. Like I've got a few kids that I do this with, and they're afraid as well. But you just kind of got to push through it. Sometimes you just got to say, I don't want to be bullied. I'm just going to do it. Yeah. So you just you have to overcome that yourself, and then if you don't respect yourself, other kids aren't going to respect you either.
So we've just seen in the video how peer mediation works. So now we're going to discuss the positives and the negatives of peer mediation. So one of the positives, as stated before, is that it's an informal discussion. So it's not rooted in psychological analysis. There's no notes, there's no talking in length about, readings and things like that. It's just a casual conversation, more or less, between friends, which is victim directed and peer prompted, which is another great positive of this. So although the peer is prompting the questions and asking for a bit of information, the victim is the one leading the discussion. And then the peer is the one that bounces off the answers as opposed to the victim bouncing off the questions. And they're just general questions, which is another positive. They're very general. They start from how you're doing at school, what do you like, what are your interests, oh, okay, so what's happening here, and then leading into the discussion, not we are here because of this. It starts off quite nice. So it's therapeutic, it's not therapy. So it's very therapeutic and primal to get your emotions off your chest and talk to someone about what's going on. It's not, as stated before, it's not cognitive behavior therapy. It's not exposure. We're not throwing somebody in the deep end. And first-person stories and personal stories are very, very good anecdotes. Yes, it's happened to me, really. Oh, you poor thing. I've been through it. Look, here's how I handled it. Something like that you will not get from a counsellor. But there are negatives. There may not be results obtained. And the peer may not actually be able to handle the content. Something may come up about bullying or other personal issues that have come up, and the peer just thinks, hang on, this is beyond me, this is beyond my control. There's also confidentiality issues. We know that children talk. We know that girls in high school talk, boys in high school talk. It's going to be very hard to find an impartial and transparent leader who will not go and discuss with their friends the results of a peer mediation. And there's also the willingness to participate, and that is on both sides. You may not get volunteers of the older class who say, yep, I'm going to stay in at lunch and recess and help other kids. You may also not get victims saying, yes, I'm willing to divulge all my personal information. There are alternate avenues. So these alternate avenues are the traditional disciplinary approach. So according to RISB in the University of South Australia, this is quite positive for, your standard detentions and your letters home and your parent-teacher interviews. You've got something called strengthening the victim. So what that is, it's that when the victim is being bullied, it's kind of like a play-by-play as they're being bullied. Oh, you have a big nose. Oh, really? Why? Why do you think that is? Just questioning. You're questioning why you're being bullied in the first place to the bully themselves. And then you've also got the support group method. So talking to the victim, but then having a separate conversation with the bullies and other students in the class regarding the situation or bullying in general. So there's some other things that you can do for bullying.